You ever wave hello, give a thumbs up, or shake someone's hand without even thinking about it? We all do. These little gestures feel so natural, so universal. But the truth is, every wave, nod, or handshake has a long, fascinating history behind it. They're not just simple greetings. They're packed with meaning, tradition, and sometimes unexpected consequences. I remember a friend of mine who was traveling abroad. She gave someone a thumbs up, totally normal where she's from. But it turned out to be pretty offensive in that culture. That moment stuck with me. It really showed how even the simplest gestures can say so much, and sometimes say the wrong thing entirely. If you're like me and love diving into different cultures, you've probably noticed something fascinating: the way we use gestures to communicate without saying a single word. These small movements, like a wave, a thumbs up, or a high five, might seem simple, but they're packed with meaning. They're like tiny windows into our identity, our traditions, and where we come from. Take the high five, for example. We use it to celebrate, and so do people in places like Thailand and Brazil. But in other parts of the world, it might come off as rude or confusing. That's the wild thing. Gestures can unite us or divide us, all depending on where you are. And it goes deeper than you might think. From ancient Greek handshakes to fingers-crossed superstitions rooted in medieval Europe, our body language is basically a living museum, right there in our everyday movements. So in today's video, we're going on a journey into the hidden world of gestures. I'll break down the surprising history, the psychology behind them, and how different cultures interpret the same signs in totally different ways. By the end, you might just see a wave or a peace sign in a whole new light. When we give a thumbs up, we're usually saying, "Good job, I agree," or "That's a win." It's one of the most common hand gestures around, on social media, in meetings, or just talking with friends. But the story behind it? Not so simple. Back in ancient Rome, the thumbs up wasn't exactly a sign of approval. In fact, when crowds gave a certain thumb gesture during gladiator fights, it could mean life or death. Surprise, a thumbs up back then might have actually meant the fighter lost, not won. The thumbs up gesture has a surprisingly dark history. Back in ancient Rome, it was used during gladiator fights, and depending on how the thumb was shown, it could mean life or death. Some say a closed fist with the thumb tucked in meant spare him, while a visible thumb meant finish him. But today, the thumbs up is all about positivity. It likely became popular during World War II, when pilots used it as a good luck sign before taking off. But here's the twist. The thumbs up isn't a thumbs up everywhere. In places like Greece and parts of the Middle East, it can actually be seen as rude or even insulting. A friend of mine found that out the hard way while traveling. He gave a thumbs up to say, "All good," and let's just say, it wasn't well received. It's a great reminder that even the simplest gestures can mean very different things around the world. That's why cultural awareness matters, especially in today's global, connected world. On a psychological level, giving a thumbs up actually does more than just send a message. It can boost your mood. That upward motion of the thumb, it's been linked to a small spike in dopamine, which can make both the person giving it and the one receiving it feel more confident. Studies show that in group settings, a simple thumbs up can improve the vibe, build trust, and silently signal approval without saying a word. The high five, it's quick, it's loud, and it instantly says, "Yes, we did it." From sports victories to casual celebrations, it's become a universal symbol of success and connection. But what if I told you the high five is actually a pretty modern invention? One of the most famous origin stories dates back to 1977. Picture this. Dusty Baker hits a home run for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and as he rounds the bases, his teammate Glenn Burke throws up a hand. Baker smacks it, And just like that, history's first official high five is born. But like most cultural phenomena, the story doesn't stop there. Some say the high five evolved from the low five, deeply rooted in African American communities and jazz culture long before it ever hit the baseball field. And this simple gesture didn't stay in the US for long. In Japan, it took on a new life as the high touch. A casual, friendly way to greet friends, family, or even strangers. When I visited Japan, I saw people high-fiving over everything, finishing a meal, acing a test, even just getting through the day. It wasn't just celebration, it was connection. Psychologists say there's more to the high five than just fun. The motion itself releases endorphins. It can boost morale, build teamwork, and make people feel more connected. That's why you'll often see teachers using it in classrooms to energize students, increase engagement, and create a sense of belonging. So yeah, the high five, it's more than a slap of the palm. It's a tiny, powerful way to say, we're in this together. You ever cross your fingers for luck without even thinking about it? I know I do. But have you ever stopped to wonder, why this gesture? Why cross your fingers at all? Well, it turns out, this little hand movement has a pretty fascinating backstory. It actually dates all the way back to early Christianity. During a time when Christians were being persecuted by the Roman Empire, they needed a way to secretly recognize one another. So they'd cross their fingers, forming a tiny cross as a symbol of hope, unity, and protection. Over time, that sacred gesture slowly evolved into something more secular, a universal sign for luck. Today, crossing your fingers is second nature in places like the US and the UK. We do it before job interviews, big games, or even when someone's buying a lottery ticket. But heads up, not everyone sees it the same way. When I was traveling in Southeast Asia, I casually crossed my fingers while chatting with a guide, and she looked shocked. That's when I learned that in Vietnam, crossed fingers actually have a, well, let's just say inappropriate meaning. Let's just say it's not something you want to flash around in public. It was a good reminder that even the most familiar gestures can carry totally different meanings depending on where you are in the world. And get this, there's even a psychological side to it. Research shows that doing a small physical gesture, like crossing your fingers, can actually help you feel more confident. It's a little ritual that helps us focus our hopes, our intentions, like a mental boost in stressful situations. So yeah, that tiny twist of your fingers, it's way more powerful and way more complex than you might think. When you think of a handshake, you probably imagine a friendly greeting, a business deal being sealed, or maybe just a sign of respect. But did you know this simple gesture has roots stretching all the way back to ancient Greece? Back then, a handshake wasn't just polite, it was powerful. It symbolized peace, showing that neither person was carrying a weapon. That's right. This universal gesture actually began as a truce. Fast forward to medieval Europe, and handshakes were being used by knights to prove their loyalty and trust. No weapons, no treachery, just an honest grip between comrades. Today, handshakes are everywhere, but they're not all the same. In the US, a strong, confident grip is the norm. In Southeast Asia, it's lighter and more reserved. In Japan, people often bow slightly for shaking hands as a show of respect. A colleague of mine once told me how wildly different each country's handshake felt, from firm Texas grips to almost ghost-like touches in Thailand. But here's the fascinating part. A handshake isn't just physical, it's psychological. Studies show that a firm handshake can instantly make you seem more confident and trustworthy. On the flip side, a limp handshake might send the wrong message: insecurity, hesitation, or even disinterest. So next time you shake someone's hand, remember, it's more than just a greeting. It's a glimpse into history, culture, and personality, all in the palm of your hand. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What's the most memorable handshake you've ever had?